Tired of spending $30 a liter at your local grocery store on maple syrup? Stay tuned for the next 5 minutes and we're going to show you how to make this organic liquid gold yourself at home. To get started, you're going to need a heat source, if that's wood, propane, or electric. You're going to need an evaporator, if that's a pre-made one, cinder block, or least preferred, the turkey burner barbecue. You're going to need some spiles, buckets or plastic jugs, and a hammer to put the spiles in. And an electric drill or a hand drill. And of course, you're going to need some mason jars or jugs to store your syrup once it's ready. And last but not least, of course, you're going to need a sweet tooth. We'll start by finding a sugar maple tree larger than 12 inches in diameter. Your drill bit's going to depend on the size of your spile, but either way you're going to drill 2 to 2.5 inches on an upward angle inside of the tree. Take your spile and tap it in with the hammer. And depending on the time of the year, your sap's going to start flowing right away. Put your bucket on. And attach a lid so that no debris gets in. Depending on where you live, the sap can start flowing anywhere from late February to early March or even April. As the days get longer and the temperatures are above freezing during the daytime but go below freezing at night, the sap will start running. If you tap your trees too early, they'll cauterize and you won't get that big run. But if you tap too late, you also risk missing a big run of quality early sap. The rule of thumb is you'll harvest 1 liter of maple syrup for every 40 liters of sap that flows. Depending on where you live, this will determine how many buckets and spiles you put out for the season. If you live in a rural setting, you may have access to hundreds of acres of maple trees. And if you live in the city, don't hesitate to ask your friends to borrow their maple on their front lawn. You may want to store your sap in a bin until you're ready for the boil. Once you have enough sap to start, run your sap through a sieve to get out any leftover debris. All this work can make you thirsty. Check out the link below and I'll show you how to make your own maple soda with the soda stream in less than 2 minutes, so you can enjoy a fresh glass during the boil. The most common method to boil your sap in a backyard sugar camp is the cinder block evaporator. This cost-effective method is easy to construct and to dismantle. There are lots of resources online that will show you how to build this evaporator. Next, you'll get yourself a fire going. Pour in your sap. Take your sieve and run it through to get any other pieces of debris out. And then the waiting game. This could take several hours, but you'll want to boil your sap down until the color starts turning a caramel color. We then bring our boiled down sap indoors where we'll boil it down even more. It's important that you have proper ventilation inside your kitchen because everything will get sticky. It's very important that you do not allow this to boil over or it'll create quite the mess. Start by putting it on a medium setting of 6 and slowly bring it up to an 8 so that it's a light rolling boil. The big question is always, when will my syrup be ready? It's very important that you monitor the syrup at this stage. You'll notice when it's getting close to being finalized, the syrup will become more viscous, the boil will look different, and it'll actually start to smell like maple syrup. To be absolutely certain, you can do a drip test with a spatula, or if you have a thermometer, you want to ensure that the temperature is 219 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 7 degrees above the boiling point of water. When it's ready, transfer it to a measuring cup with a spout. At this time we take our hot maple syrup and we pour it into our maple syrup jugs or our mason jars that have been sterilized. And the moment that we've all been waiting for, that fresh, organic, homemade maple syrup drizzled on your next plate of your favorite meal.